I'm Abby McHugh-Griffa, Executive Director of the Climate Solutions Accelerator. And for today's video, I'm going to combine an invitation with a very important lesson that I've learned over the past 10 years of doing this work. Specifically, that climate change is inherently and fundamentally a public health crisis, and we really need to be talking about it and thinking about it in those terms. So, for example, last summer, we experienced the wildfire smoke blowing down from Canada, and that certainly interrupted our lives in a dramatic way. But also for people who were already dealing with respiratory illness, that was a seriously dangerous situation, right? But we also experience air pollution, both indoor and outdoor, on a daily basis from things like school buses, right? I know when I drop my kids off at school in the morning and we walk past the line of buses in the circle out front, it is just nasty air that we are breathing in. Also, there's been a lot of attention in the media recently to how gas stoves in our homes emit harmful pollutants that can cause, for example, respiratory illness, obviously, but also cancer. And air pollution is also associated with things like cardiovascular disease, neurological disorders, other mental health challenges, and kind of the list goes on, right? And that is just exclusively focused on air pollution. We also know that here in our region, we are already seeing how climate is impacting our food security and food supply, food quality, as well as water supply and water quality. For example, did you know that all 11 Finger Lakes had harmful algal blooms over the past several years, which is, of course, a threat to our water supply, but also just directly dangerous to anyone who happens to interact with that water. And another one that comes top of mind for me is Lyme disease, vector-borne disease. As our winters are shorter and not as cold, that gives those nasty little bugs more ability to survive the winter, more time to reproduce, meaning that there are more of them to spread disease. Also things like mosquitoes and West Nile virus. And this is kind of just the tip of the iceberg that I'm talking about right now, okay? So thinking about climate and how it impacts our health is really important for those of us who are doing climate work to understand and to be able to communicate about, which is why I want to strongly encourage you to attend our upcoming Climate Solutions Summit on April 19th and 20th, where we will be digging into these issues in great detail with the help of a lot of really just kind of impressive people who are doing this work. Some notable local figures, including Dr. Michael Mendoza and Wade Norwood, but then also some out-of-town guests and some local people who you might not be familiar with yet. So we've got a very exciting and robust program planned. As a reminder, day one is focused primarily on people who are somehow engaged in climate and equity-focused work in their professional lives. So, whether you're working directly on health or on social determinants of health, day one would be very appropriate for you. And day two is for anyone and everyone, including those same people from day one. You can register for one day or both days. We do have a sliding scale because we do not want the cost of participating to be a barrier for anyone. And if you are kind of already in the choir here, you're a person who cares a lot about climate change, your help with spreading the word about this event would be deeply, deeply appreciated because, there might be a lot of people working out there in fields that would benefit from this knowledge who we just don't already have contact with and who will not hear about it directly from us. So I invited my neighbor. She's a nurse and she's coming and I'm thrilled. And I would invite you to do the same and really appreciate that support because we need to broaden this movement and give healthcare professionals the knowledge and skills that they need to be talking to their patients and to be moving their systems in a more sustainable direction. So register for the summit if you haven't already, and please invite others to attend as well. Thank you for your help with that.